to share stage with Rohit Bhai and Vineet Bhai, two other well-known faces of real estate for Pune. Thank you, Realty, for carving this panel for me. I don't Realty Plus, my bad. Realty Plus. So absolutely. So uh, I'm not too sure about how much content we are going to cover, but it's going to be surely a masterclass for all of us. The topic I've already at backstage we were discussing is going to be very controversial and debatable. Where in one side we are seeing a huge growth we have seen as Pune as a city, independently on its own. I mean, few of the numbers, if I were to say, is that it contributes around what 65,000 homes being introduced. We have seen prices which is getting appreciated by 40% in the last 4 to 5 odd years in residential. We are getting large launches which is coming across the infra story, the education hub, the migration which is being happening. So all tick boxes which is being happening for the city. Uh, uh, Continuing with that, when you are seeing such a front foot development is happening for Pune as a market. Question, Rohit, by my question. For decades, Pune was seen Mumbai's quieter neighborhood. Has the city finally come to its term?
So look, historically, Pune has been considered, and I'm talking 30, 40 years ago, it was the pensioners' paradise. Then it moved into Oxford of the East as education picked up. And from there, because we've had really good engineering schools, we have talent, that led to the IT boom coming in. And today, I think that Pune pretty much stands on its own feet. There's no doubt in terms of GDP, Mumbai is much larger, and there's no debate about that. So that is a fact. But I think if you look at some of the numbers, some of the statistics, Pune last year, we leased almost 10 million square feet, whereas Mumbai MMR was about 11 or 11 and a half, right? In terms of number of homes, Pune is now the second or third largest market. We do anywhere between 80 and 90,000 homes sold every year. So, I think when you look at it like that, and we were talking about this backstage, I don't understand where the debate is. We are a city on our own. We have our own ecosystem. We have our own economic engines, and we cater to a different audience. We cater to a different segment. I wish our international airport would come sooner, but that it is what it is. So I think we stand on our own feet, and I don't think we have anything to be apologetic about as a city.
And Rohit, I just wanted to double click on what you've been saying in terms of, I mean, you made your point loud and clear. What's happening in Pune? What has been the last 5 years? What is going to be the next 5 years, according to you, as a city, as a growth engine?
So look, I think the thing that drives any city really then is employment. The growth of a city is driven by employment. And if 10 million if 10 million square feet got leased, right? Do the math, look at the number of jobs, look at the migration that leads to, then look at the housing demand that triggers. The country's GDP looks strong and positive from a longer term point of view. Certainly right now we have some headwinds, but that happens every couple of years. You have headwinds. In the longer, in terms of the longer duration, I think the country grows, right? Personally, if you ask me, I think the US government under Mr. Trump has done a great service to this country by creating risk for people to go and work there. Those jobs are moving back here. And so, that helps our India story even more. And then with that India story is the Pune story, where there's enough real estate available for office. There's enough real estate available for homes. There's enough social infrastructure. So, my outlook looking forward, barring some ups and downs and some headwinds, which we will see from time to time, I'm very bullish in terms of the city and in terms of what we see coming up down the line.
Fantastic. So bullish is the pick of the session which we have. Vineet bhai, though we are talking about Mumbai and Pune as a market on that, according to you, I know there are certain expansion plan of yours in Mumbai as well. According to you, what are the dynamics of Mumbai? What are the dynamics of Pune? Which comparable and non-comparable, and hence how the overall Pune growth story with those dynamics stands out?
So first of all, I'm very happy. I feel very happy every time when we are compared to a metro. So we are directly comparing Pune to a metro like Bombay, and we all know Bombay is the financial capital of India. So you're comparing us to that. It's superb. Friends, Pune has been, as we know, and in bureaucracy, on a very lighter note, they keep on saying कि होशियार लोगों की जगह है Pune. So that is what the comment keeps on coming. And when they say that, they say it with sarcastic. But I'm saying we are the Oxford of the East. We were and still we are, I would say. The jobs in Pune are secured. The population has grown. I think we were 5 million people way back in 2000. Today we are 7 million, 7.5 million, and more things are happening. When you compare to Bombay affordability is a question mark. Pune, we are affordable. 1,000 square feet apartment you're getting at 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs, depending on the location. Your scarcity of land is there in Bombay. Comparatively, Pune doesn't have scarcity of land. Again, the travel time to the workplace, we all know how chaotic it is. Pune is superb. And the way we are progressing and the way things are happening in Pune, we have the ring road coming in, we have the international airport announced at Purandar. And just listen to this. The moment this missing link is opened, we are 90 minutes to an international airport from Bombay, which is across the world the same. Okay, whenever you're going to, so if you're landing into London and you go Heathrow, you want to come back to the city, it is 75, 80 minutes. So we are also there. So I think we have everything. The ring road is coming, the metro line 3 is coming up. We just did one of the best events of India where we had the cycling race, and I think the world was looking about it. And the infrastructure that Pune displayed in a short span of 90 days was remarkable. So I think in that perspective, Pune is good. I'm happy that we have been compared to a metro city, but I think the livability index, the way we as a community we are living, the townships that we are building upon, I think this whole makes a good ecosystem for Pune to be there.
Fantastic. I'll extend one more question on what you've been saying is that when we are comparing it with Metro City, it's known for larger mixed communities, migrant population, acceptance of the city across the people who will be coming in and then residing, build their careers. These are all like magnet city, and I don't have any doubt that Pune has that the magnet. Whoever wants to come for education, for jobs, etc., would love to stay there. You have a strategy which is into a premium segment purely from a residential side. And I mean, pardon me, but I feel that you have that Hyundai strategy, which is best of the product and pocket friendly. What is that formula working for you, which is giving you kick to expand into this category more and more?
So I think Pune is doing superb, and I was just chatting with someone here, and we said, "Ki you're doing well, and that is the reason Pune is doing well." No, it's the city it is doing well, and I think the outcome is the developers. So at Kohinoor, the focus is very clear. We focus on things that we are good at. So we feel that the range between 85 lakhs to a 1.5 crores is the segment that we want to focus upon. And from last consistently 10 years, we've been focusing upon that. And because of the data that we have, thanks to the registrar and the team, that we are able to source data. Now we have data location wise, micro market wise, wherein the growth has happened, wherein the IT is coming up. And because of that, we are able to kind of strategize the locations in Pune which are growing and future predict. For example, we speak of Karadi. The moment we speak of Karadi, then you obviously speak of Wagholi and the adjoining Kestan and all that locations which are coming up. We speak of Hinjawadi. So Hinjawadi phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and now going beyond. So, and this is how things are there. So at Kohinoor, the focus is be in the markets where there is good momentum, be in across segments. So we are not only doing 2 BHK and 3, we are also doing 4 BHK. We are also doing redevelopment. We are also doing A grade commercials. We are also doing student housing. Because there is so much everywhere available, I think as a brand, as an organization, we feel that we have to be part of every thing in real estate.
Fantastic. Right, I mean, on one side, we have the entire value premium segment category. You are bold in this market when you talk about you take challenges of projects which are into a luxury segment. You bring in celebrities, you bring in a fully loaded strategic partnership coming in on that. is it part of your strategy that Pune needs a, a top metro city living coming in, and you think that customer has an appetite to pay that premiumness to have that livability index similar to Bombay or any other metro city?
Look, I think so. I'll talk a little bit about what we chose to do. We believe that in the long run, our strategy and our approach is servicization of our product. Okay, so where the real estate developer's job ends is where you finish your development and hand over the keys. That's where my child-centric homes really kicks in. That's where my wellness-centric homes kicks in. So we believe that there is a segment in the audience who's willing to pay for the service, which goes hand in hand with the product. And that's the audience that we're catering to. Now, when you're comparing it to Mumbai, to Pune, I don't think that there's a comparison, right? The comparison really is that can I get that those two customers from Vineet, right, to come to me who want to pay that little bit extra, right, for the service that we offer. And so he's got the ability to pay. He just wants that service. So I'm not comparing to Mumbai, right? We're all competing side by side as developers and as friends and as professionals for that pool of customers, which is our own addressable market. So my addressable market is at a certain price point and size. His addressable market is at a price point and size, and we compete for that. So our strategy is, can we provide that customer that little extra layer of service over the 5 years after he buys? So we started this with, I think 20 years ago when we started our 5-year warranty. So before it even came in with RERA, we were already offering the 5-year warranty. So it was, how do you give that customer a little bit extra? The warranty experience led us to get feedback from customers saying we want more. So it's each of us have our own strategies, we have our own approaches, and that's effectively what it is.
And do you think the strategy of celebrities, strategic alliances works for you? Tell us more about that, because the reason I'm saying is that across the cities in Indian real estate, promoters do have a skepticism in terms of trying out this thing. They just wanted to stick to a product with a great value to close deals. But on the other hand, very few developers are betting on such tie-ups, etc., to command that premium and bring that pull factor.
So look, I think when you talk about celebrities, there's two categories, right? There are those who we use and we have used for promoting the brand or the concept. So today we have Hrithik Roshan as our brand ambassador for our wellness-centric homes. But he is purely that, he's a brand ambassador. What we did with child-centric, for example, when we tied up with a Mahesh Bhupati, when we tied up with Anil Kumble in those days, we tied up with Baichung Bhutia, we've tied up with all of these guys to bring their capable coaching facilities into our projects. Now, that to me was, we were covering two things. One, we were offering the customer something more, something new, something different. It takes a tremendous amount of risk and a commitment because none of them want to come into your project unless you're guaranteeing them business. We took that risk. Today, for me, child-centric homes is my strategic moat. For any other developer to do a child-centric development, he needs to commit at least a 1.5 to 2 million square foot project with commitments to these brands. See, today, after doing this for 10 plus years, I know out of 1,000 homes, how many kids are going to play tennis. So I will underwrite my tennis academy, the quantum which I will give them on that basis. So that at a competitive level, that's our competitive moat. And from a customer point of view, it offers the customer something better. So now in offering something better, if I have to get well-known celebrities who have tied up with. So now in the child-centric, these are not people who are just saying, oh, buy from Gera. These are guys who are saying, Shankar Mahadevan's coaching academy is at your doorstep. Shamak Dava's dance academy is at your doorstep. So they're promoting themselves. And with that, they promote my project as well. So there's a twofold strategy that we have in mind.
Very well said and very insightful. I mean, what you shared right now is an inside-out story. I wanted to question on the outside in. You're there in the industry selling residential, commercial for many decades now. How you have seen customers changing, how the overall purchase cycle, how the overall awareness level has changed over last decade or so. Common question to both.
I think post-COVID things have been very, very different. I think if we compare last 20 years and when we compare last 5 years, these 5 years have taken the whole industry by a storm, I would say. One BHKs have got converted to two BHKs. The salaries have increased, the payouts have increased. People have started taking risk on the commercial front. I would say last 5 years, when I look back and when I think about it, last 5 years we were doing strata sales as well, apart from leasing. And I see an huge demand, and people are ready to invest, take that risk, take that fund, and then try and lease it out in due course of time. And similarly, it's happening on the student housing front. Similarly, it's happening on the co-living front, where we see this kind of traction. So I think last 5 years have changed. People mindset has said, let's invest more, capitalize more, try and take that risk so that they get better returns. And if you see from what happened after COVID, the rental cycle has also increased. So if we compare to Bombay, because Bombay is the topic, typically your returns on your investment is not more than 2%, and whereas Pune is promising 4%, 5%. And if you go with the co-living story that people are doing, they are guaranteeing 5, 6% as well. So I think these all are new trends that are coming in, and it's a positive sign for Pune. And this is the change that I see Pune. And way forward also, I'm seeing people are moving to bigger apartments. People are moving to bigger commercial spaces. Though co-working has taken shape in Pune specifically after Bangalore, I think the highest number of seats that has Pune is having that. So I think these are all shaping up and doing good.
So I'll talk about, I agree with what Vineet said. I'm going to just talk about something else from a customer point of view. I think the two big changes as far as the customer is concerned, one is RERA and two is social media, right? Every customer comes and threatens us, okay? Do this or we will post it and it will go viral, right? So, but the point is, today the customer, while everything doesn't go viral, and we all understand that, but I think the point is the customer feels empowered enough to actually go and make that threat. It means he is insisting on his right. That viral thing may not happen or whatever, but today they feel much more empowered. 10 years ago, customers didn't feel as, they were much more powerless. So I think RERA has given them that confidence. Social media has given them the confidence to go and talk about it. So the customer today is far more demanding. The number of people who we have to deal with who say, oh, we didn't expect this from the Gera brand. I'm like, boss, read your agreement. This is the specification in the agreement. No, we thought we'll get stainless steel and glass railings, as an example. Okay. Now the agreement says that the tile size is X. नहीं यार, हमको तो बड़े size चाहिए. What is in your agreement? नहीं, आपका तो Gera brand है, we expect it. And if you don't do it, we'll make it viral. So there is a tremendous change with the customer. They are far more educated today. They're reading up the documents. They're looking up, paperwork. So I think that's a really, really good sign for the industry, because that's what weeds out the fly-by-night operators. And that's the best thing as far as this sector is concerned. The reason we've been so maligned for so many decades is because of the fly-by-night operators, not the people you guys call on the panels here, right? But there are so many of them who give us a bad name, and it's about time that the consumer is empowered enough and feels strong enough today. So I think that's a big change that's happened.
I just wanted to add to Rohit. Apart from this, a bigger change that I have witnessed is post 2018. So Pune typically was not a CP driven sales market, and off late, if you see specifically, if you speak of Kohinoor, 80% of sales are coming through channel partners. I think earlier we were the only one marketing a project. Now I think more than 1,000 brokers are speaking about a project. So the mindset or the need to tell the customer that you require a home and this is the right time to buy the home, and we've seen consumers are benefiting also from the pricing for that. So I think we have a lot of friends over here who are channel partners, and these people have really added a lot to, I think, the whole business cycle in Pune, and this has really helped the industry, I would say.
Fantastic, fantastic. I think there is a great tension between the developers and the customers to give the best to each. and that is coming out very nicely. Uh, I just wanted to extend because there are great brands, whether it is Kohinoor or Gera, which is there, enjoys the legacy of that. What's with Pune that everyone wants to enter, whether it is Bombay developers, whether it is Bangalore developers, whether it is Chennai, across the category, or Kolkata for that matter, wherein they are entering, there is something gold mine which they are saying. How do you see, uh, typically the Gen Z call it the OG brands, which is sitting on my panel? How do you see this competition coming in Pune, and how do you see you holding your grounds and expanding when such a the entire movement of non-branded to a branded development is being happening, wherein customers are moving towards buying into a branded developer?
So look, I think bring it on. Okay. First and foremost, bring it on. And frankly, the biggest loser to this are not the, in your words, the OG, the generation 2, generation 3 developers. It's not that. It's the smaller, the fly-by-night, the disorganized who are getting disintermediated from this market. The market size is fixed, right? We're all competing for that. We have the strength of brand. We have the strength of delivery. Other people are coming in, they've got strength of brand. So now it's people competing with different levels of strength. The people who get squeezed out are those who are at the margins. And I think that's the group who will feel the pain the most. As far as we're concerned, personally, I like the fact that when you get people from out of town coming in, there's no downward pressure on pricing. Because the fly-by-night operator who is the manager himself, right, whose cost structures are much lower than ours, can compete at a lower pricing. But here I'm dealing with corporates who have to pay their own CEOs, their own regional heads. They have to do the same compliance that I do. So their compliance costs are the same, their staff costs are the same. So the ability to compete then is that much better in that sense. So it's all fine. Like I started off saying, bring it on.
At Kohinoor, we are also dealing with these corporates where we also, because we are not an emotional company, when we get numbers and if someone is asking for a land and if my land is ready to fetch something, so I'm ready to let go the land also. So I think the Pune market is doing absolutely fabulous. Last 5 years, we've seen something unexpected. And when these brand come into Pune, I think it's only a glory for Pune because the way they structure, the way they speak on different panels. Earlier, Pune was discussed only in Maharashtra. Now, Pune is discussed across across India, I would say. So, all the developers coming up from different cities, different states. The only reason they're coming because they have sales. One, again, here you're dealing with corporates, and the reason is the industry is getting corporatized. Earlier, it was fragmented, unauthorized construction. We all saw what happened in 2016, 17, 18, where there was unauthorized construction, and because of which there was competition. And not only competition, the perception of the customer also to an extent went to a thing ki yaar builder matlab they're not going to deliver. I think the players, outside players coming in and having this corporate story, I think it is only build confidence. It is only making sure becoming a national, more globally accepted things. And we see that in commercial space also. Earlier, only one developer, two developers were doing commercial, right? Now I think we have tons of people coming in and they are ready to invest at any amount. And we've seen transactions we have never heard of in Pune. We only used to see that Bombay have sold at 500 crores, Delhi has said 1,000 crores. Now we see these numbers in Pune. So I think Pune is been liked. The reason is we are all good people. Puneites are super humble human beings. So we welcome everyone with open arms. We would never tell anyone, there's no space. We have space for everyone in our hearts and in our city as well. Secondly, we are comfortable as Rohit started in the session that we work as friends and not as enemies or not as competitors. We are there to, I can just call up Rohit, ye kya ho raha hai, what do you think? What is your opinion? Someone is trying to blackmail me or blackmail him. And we can just have a chat. Ki, boss, how do we deal with this? So I think this culture of Pune is really helping Pune to.
So I'll tell you one other benefit. Okay. Access to talent. When I look for senior level talent today, and I look 10 years ago, my access to talent today is far greater. At the CXO level, because these guys have all come in. They're hiring their regional heads. My pool of talent available for me has also gone up, which thank you very much. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Thanks. It's fantastic. I mean, at the beginning, I've already said that, I don't know about the content, but it's going to be a masterclass. I just want to touch upon two aspects blended in one question. We see infra uh, is the core of any city's development. And we have already seen the ring roads, the missing link. We are coming closer to Bombay, and there are many more metros and all sort of infra story which is being coming across, which also leads that there is a leeway of city expansion. There is a leeway for real estate development into those infra centric zone. Uh, is there any scope, or how are you leveraging on this infra story? Is it still behind as compared to the way you are developing real estate, or is it at par, or is it going hand in hand? Is that a controversial question?
No,
Yeah, okay.
every question is a good question because it is speaking of Pune. So again, as we know, the Purandar airport is on the verge, and I was just speaking to someone and in the authority, and they were like, next 6 months you will see the airport moving, and then Adani is going to build it, and so on. So we know the ring road is got acquired 85%, and the fund has been allocated. The railways have given us 5,000 crores to do the Pune Lonavala link. We have the PMC who has allocated 1,800 crores to do 164 kilometers of road. Then we just had the cycling race, and now again we have the race next year again where 324 kilometers of internal roads are going to get developed. So these are all opportunities from where I look at things. We may keep on debating on the infrastructure, we may keep on debating on the quotient, but I think there is an intent. I think the government has an intent that Pune has to grow, and they are progressing on that smell. I think a lot of things also in the hands of the bureaucracy. The right bureaucracy also plays a vital role in the infrastructure development. I think we have the best collector, the commissioners that we have today, and they are all firing from all fronts. So there is an opportunity. We had said that this will happen in 2025-26, but it's happening in 27. I think it's good. It's not that bad. But I think the biggest thing that Pune really, really needs very fast, and I'm very optimistic, is the international airport. And once Purandar comes in, because it becomes an international cargo hub, which changes the dynamics of Pune, which changes everything for Pune. Because we saw this happening in Chakan, and where we saw a lot of industries getting set up, a lot of warehousing getting set up. I think it changes everything because people who are working there, who are doing a business there, they want to come back and stay in Pune. That is the way they look at the city. So I think wherever there is growth that is happening, wherever roads and this infrastructure is coming, it's an opportunity for developers, everyone coming into the city, and reap the benefits out of it.
So on infrastructure, I'll take a minute and go back in time a little bit. When I studied in college a long, long time ago, that's when it became fashionable to call countries like India from an underdeveloped economy to a developing economy. Okay. So I asked my economics professor, I said, what is the definition of developing economy? He didn't have an answer. When I came back, what I realized over the years is a developing economy is one where people come and move in first, and infrastructure follows. So you look at buying a home in America, for example, you want to build your bungalow, roads are outside, street lights are outside. All you have to do is pay to bring your utilities from the road to your actual house. Out here, we are building homes. There's no road, there's no water, there's no nothing, right? But, and this is the moot point. The infrastructure follows. The point is, at what I have seen happen is the speed at which the infrastructure is catching up is much faster today than it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and even 5 years ago. So for example, we are in Viman Nagar right now. When my dad did the first project here in the 70s, Viman Nagar had virtually no trees and had an extremely acute water problem. Extremely acute water problem. Today, Viman Nagar is virtually fully developed, and today, from time to time, there is a water shortage. So an extremely acute water problem has become a temporary water shortage. So the infrastructure has caught up. The number of years that it took for Kharadi to get the water supply from the time people moved in to Wagholi to get the water supply when people moved in, to the roads coming in, is becoming shorter and shorter. I think the effort that this government is putting in onto infrastructure projects is unbelievable at the pace at which they're doing it. Just look at what's happened to Mumbai. The coastal road, the Atal Setu, all of that, it's transformative. Pune too, it's the same government. They've understood the power of infrastructure, how it has an impact on cities. So I think the infrastructure push that comes from the government through the bureaucracy, like Vineet said, this missing link is going to reduce our time to Mumbai by 30 minutes, right? They're already talking about widening the Mumbai-Pune highway to make it 10 lane. Like that's unheard of. So, and these expenses are being made in advance now. Rather than people have come, traffic jams have come, people are stuck. Now let's start unclogging. Having said that, some areas there are still traffic jams, but they're working actively to solve it. So I am an optimist. I always see the glass as half full. And I can tell you that the work that the government is doing on infrastructure is phenomenal. I have only optimism looking forward at infrastructure.
Fantastic. I mean, very well said. You are part of many forums. You travel, you interact with many promoters across the country. You have been traveling, studying domestic and international development, what is being happening, etc. And you represent Pune to these cities and these regions on that. What are the typical misconceptions which you have come across about Pune?
So I think so I'm doing my Harvard course. I'm doing the OPM course, which is the Owner President Management program. So this is my last year. So when I'm speaking at Harvard, and I had a chance to speak about my business, and there I could represent Pune. So 95% of them didn't know Pune. That was the story. I'm just giving you that background as well. But when we are speaking to developers, we are part of many EO, YPO, and other things. When we are talking to them, Pune is like, it's a shant city. You can just have it can be your second home, or probably that is the conception they had. But I think last 4-5 years, the way Pune has been marketed or been spoken about from every different aspect, I think they've understood that it's more of a city now, and more of a running life, and more of a business kind of a story. Same like Bombay. So I think Pune has been now considered seriously, but the perception, I would say, a lot of them have is it's a pensioner's paradise, as he said in the beginning. And this is how Pune has been perceived. People are calm, they would do their work, they're not intervening into anyone's story, and they will do their own work.
The 1 to 4 story.
1 to 4 story. So we all know about that, the 1 to 4. Yeah.
So look, I think Pune is IYKYK. If you know, you know. So you talk to corporate real estate heads, they know Pune. They know the talent, they know the rates, they know what's available, what's not. The rest of them don't know. So then you need to educate, and you need to upgrade, and you need to kind of educate them on that. Otherwise, Pune is looked at as, okay, it's one city in India, and then they know the economics at an India level. So it's only those who are then connected with the city who know a little bit about it, or who need to be connected with the city who know a little bit about it, right? And take Cleveland, Ohio. What do you know about Cleveland, Ohio? Right? In the audience here, we don't know a lot. Why do we need to know? So it's more about, if you need to know, and therefore you know. There's more of that.
Got it. I just wanted to touch upon the entire vision of Mumbai 3.0 being explained. There is Mumbai 4.0 is also on we got an announcement on that. I mean, 2 decades back, there were 2 cities which was 5-6 hours away. Then there was an expressway which came in, reduced around 1.5-2 hours. Then there are many tunnels which came in, and many other expansion which happened, which reduced it by half an hour, 1 hour or so. Now there is missing link, which is going to further reduce it with by 30 minutes. We have the Mumbai 3.0 and the Navi Mumbai airport, which is coming across, which probably have the distance between both the cities to like a 1.5, 2 hours or so. Do you see that in future? Do you see that you can leverage the best of the Mumbai in Pune, which is like Mumbai, which is on the seaside, and Mumbai on the hillside? So do you see that you can attract similar investors, similar value proposition over a period of time because of the closeness to the main city which is coming across for Pune?
So definitely yes. I think from the day the expressway was built, Pune and Mumbai got closer, and now because of the missing link and the whole development happening around the Navi Mumbai, categorically, I think the CM once told me also, we need you don't need to come to Bombay. You have to be in Pune only. That is the message he gave me across in a public platform. So I think the benefits of Pune, Bombay are going to be there. Pune is going to benefit because the pool talent, the financial thing, the whole infrastructure, and the way Pune, as I said, we have to when globally when we are meeting someone, we have to say we are Pune, we are next to Mumbai. I think these two things, these two cities are going to be together. And when you are at a distance of an hour or so, I think nothing matters. It is as if you are staying in Mumbai or someone is staying in Pune. So I think we are definitely going to benefit. We are benefiting, is what I would say, because the way people look at you is when you are next to the financial hub, they want to be in your city as well. They also want to invest in your city, seeing an opportunity. So I think it will help only.
That says time's up, so I agree with him.
I mean, I would have loved to go on and on, but it's a okay.
Public
So-
questions, low public. I have a question for Rohit. Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
It's out of the box. It's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
related
please,
to Pune.
please.
So, Rohit, I've been seeing you since a child. We've seen the brand Gera flourishing, and every time we see something innovative is there. And still after that, I see an Amitabh Bachchan coming in. I see an Hrithik Roshan. This is purely for my understanding on marketing, I would say. My marketing team is also here, so I also want them to listen what you have in the thoughts. So why would an Gera get Hrithik or an Amitabh Bachchan when Gera itself is an Amitabh Bachchan for Pune?
सबके सामने बताना पड़ेगा.
So they told me that it's
So-
a classroom. So I'm just asking
So,
you.
so I'll tell you. I honestly, I had my doubts. Okay, and I run an organization which is democratized, and my team has a say. And if they believe in something passionately and they push it, then they can get their way. This was one of those cases. I still don't have evidence that getting Mr. Bachchan as our brand ambassador actually worked. Okay, the fact that you bring it up here, obviously, it has had an impact on some people. Right? Did it have an impact on the real estate segment? Certainly, everybody knew across the country. Okay. Did it have an impact on customers? I only have to go by what my salespeople say, and they say yes, because when I was getting him, I talked to the global CEO of Ogilvy, and I asked her. I said, "Look, this is what my team is saying," and she says, "Rohit, I can tell you it'll help, but there is no way to quantify how much it'll help. There's no way to quantify this. It's not like you're selling soap, which, okay, you've got years of data, and now you bring in a brand ambassador at a certain point in time, you do a new ad and it has an impact. Each of our projects, what you launched this year compared to last year's launch, the price is different, location is different, markets are different. So there's no way to run that comparison. So it was that lack of knowledge, right? But their conviction that they said, okay, let's do wellness centric with a brand ambassador that embodies wellness. Now, one of the things that I've learned, and since you said from a classroom format, one of the things that I've learned is, if you're getting a brand ambassador, get a brand ambassador who truly represents your brand. So if you look at our campaign that we did, we talked about timeless in the first campaign with Mr. Bachchan. We talked about trust, right? We talked about rejuvenation. We talked about all of those things which he represents, and I believe our brand represents. When we brought wellness-centric homes, the reason we got a Hrithik is because from an age point of view, from a customer segment point of view, from somebody who represents wellness really well, that was the logic of bringing in somebody like that who truly represents what you want to pass on as a message. Does it add to more sales? I don't think so. Okay. Does it add to greater recognition? Does it add to people saying, oh, that's the project, that's where you're buying? Does it get people to open their mind to a whole new concept of wellness-centric? I sure hope so.
You're being
Thank you,
very
thank
modest,
you.
but
Guys, let's clap. He's been so open discussing about the internal strategy.
my last question, and probably we can open it for the participants in that. Rohit bhai, you have a project in Goa, uh, and it has been quite successful. I just wanted to pick post pandemic. There has been a rage of investing into the new category of second homes, plotted developments, and we see tons of branded developers are acquiring, bringing in their projects, the entire new range of plotted development and second home, buying land, etc. So all sort of things is being happening. What are your views, both of you, if you can express, starting with Rohit by you?
So, look, as far as we've been in Goa, we were in Goa a long, long time ago, but we have only catered to the local Goan market. We haven't catered to the second home market. My own philosophy is you get into a space if you believe that you want to do much more in that product. So I look at child-centric homes as a product line. I look at wellness-centric homes as a product line. Okay. So if you want to get into plotting is a product line. You get into it if you want to invest, you want to be known for, you want to develop that product line. Look, we are fortunate enough. I'm third generation. There's enough wealth, and I look at my job then is can I leave our brand stronger when I leave than when I took it over? Okay, so the drive to like do one more, be opportunistic does not drive us. That certainly does not drive me. So the point is, you'll get into a product if you believe that the product has legs. It's something which you want to do for the long term. You want to dedicate those resources to drive that product. Then we'll get into it. And therefore, we chose recently wellness centric is a whole new strategy. It took us a year and a half to work on it, develop it, crack the code, and then we brought the product out. But the idea is we want to do many more projects of that type. So you want to build an expertise in that. I believe in tomorrow's world, it's going to be about your focus, your competence, your expertise. And that's what we're focusing on. So we don't go after projects in an opportunistic manner. I've actually told people, you bring me a piece of land, you give it to me for free. Okay. If there is no market there, I will not take your land even for free. Right? I'm not interested. There has to be a market for my product. Then I will take it. Which is why we don't do, we don't do low cost, because I'm a high cost provider. Right? We don't do slum redevelopment. We are very, very niche, and we're very, very focused on what we do.
We have a different strategy at Kohinoor. I think I'm a first gen, so you want to keep on exploring, and like Rohit. But I think there's an opportunity for everything. And at Kohinoor, we are into resi. We are doing what, 16 million square feet of residential, 4 million square feet of commercial, 10,000 beds operational under student housing. And apart from, we also do land trading and all that stuff. So I think there is a market for everything. And as Rohit very rightly mentioned, you need to focus what you want to do and what you are good at. So how you look at business and how are the opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities for everything. For example, you want to go to now Ayodhya because there's a whole sea of development happening over there and doing plotting. And then you see Pune also, Godrej, for example. I'm taking Godrej. We've done multiple plotting projects in Pune. So there is a market. People are wanting to invest their money in land per se, in the second home per se. But as an organization, you need to decide what you want to do. So we have a different strategy. We said, no, we want to do this, and focus and keep on building upon slowly and steady for next 5 years, 10 years. So we have a good 5 years, 10 years strategy in our mind, where the focus is this is what we want to do in resi, this is what we want to do into commercial, and then focus on that. And obviously, as I said, the people want to own a land. I think a biggest dream for any Indian is to own a land, and this is the reason you see this fractional ownership coming up, where people can invest in a land where they can become a fractional owner. So I think these all things are moving towards where you want to have a feeling that I also own a land, I also own a piece of office or a square feet of office. So I think it is there.
So Vineet is young and energetic. I'm just lazy.
No. He is more energetic. The amount of time he spends on businesses, we all see it every day, day in, day out. And I really look up to Rohit. I don't mind accepting this on the stage. Yeah?
Fantastic. I can go on and on, but I think a wonderful panel. I think solid insights. A round of applause for them. I thought of summarizing the key pointers, but I cannot because there were so many pointers which came in. I hope you managed to capture that, and probably the recording probably will have some snippets. and the reels coming in very soon of that. So thank you very much, Rohit bhai. Thank you very much, Vineet bhai, for a fantastic panel.